So I want to talk to you guys about the power of local governing. And I'm going to illustrate how, because I always emphasize how it is extremely important to get involved with your local government, your local community to make changes around where you live. All right. So I'm going to just briefly talk about this and give you guys, some suggestions. Because once you get involved in your local government, and that's the first step, getting involved. Getting involved is the first step. And number two is building relationships. And number three is putting your money where your mouth is. Okay? So I'm going to talk about all that stuff, family. And before I continue on that, if you're new to the channel, I'm going to reintroduce myself. My name is Chauncey, aka the Black Separatist. On this channel, I talk about counter racism. I also talk about issues that affect black people collectively as a group. And I offer my suggestions on how to replace this broken system of injustice, this broken system of racism, which is white supremacy, with a system of justice. So if you are new and you subscribe to that ideology, please subscribe to this channel. If you don't agree, subscribe anyway, because if you want to hate watch and troll and all that stuff, go ahead and do it, because at the end of the day, if you want to do all that, you are just a view count and a statistic. Anyway, family, so let's get right into the topic real quick. So the power of local governing. And I want to emphasize how important this is. My last video, I think I did a reaction video to, was it D.L. Hughley? And I mentioned in the video about how important it is to get involved in your local community, your local government, knowing and understanding who your mayor is, your police chief, your city commissioner, your city councilman, your legislators, etc., etc., the ALEC lawmakers, look up ALEC, okay, etc., etc., knowing how important it is, all right? And when I said that, somebody was like, well, I don't understand that. I'm paraphrasing, but somebody left a comment and said, I don't understand that. We need to govern ourselves. It's just the power of stupidity. It's crazy. In order for you to govern yourself, you have to get involved in your local community. Okay. Again, the 3 steps are getting involved, right? Getting involved. Number 2, building relationships. And number 3, putting your money where your mouth is. Okay. But some of you may not know, like I said, I'm involved heavily in my local community, in my local government, right? And I live in Miami. And in my community, last year, even though I'm still heavily involved in my community, I am a crime watch vice president in my community. We're going to have our meeting next month for the first time this year. So we had our farewell end of the year meeting for our crime watch committee in December. We're going to have our first meeting next month, and I'm the vice president of the crime watch for my community. Last year, I was the HOA, because I'm a homeowner. I'm an HOA, or I was an HOA vice president. Okay. And so when you're involved in HOA, you are heavily involved with the intricacies of your community. That means when you have an HOA, you have guidelines, rules, and regulations, aka a code of conduct. So my next door neighbor can't paint their house green, right, and put in some $10,000 palm trees. No, they can't do that without going through a certain protocol, and more than likely it will be denied. So that's where I wanted to live, and that's where I wanted to raise my children, around an HOA regulated community. You got to have rules and guidelines that people have to abide by. Where I live, there's when you want to purchase a home where I live, you go through a background check, just like when you try to apply for a job. You get a background check, make sure you're up and up. Your criminal record's good, your credit history is good. And then after that, you can be approved based on our votes as a committee in the HOA pool, right? So that's what I was involved in, and because I'm a true believer in nation building, I've been married for over 12 years. I resigned to be the HOA vice president to work on coaching, becoming a volunteer coach for my children's basketball team. When I got involved in that, I loved it. I got heavily involved in that, and now I'm coaching more than 10 kids for their season right now. So I'm coaching them and my children, and it's a learning experience for me because I'm a first-time coach, but I'm a huge, basketball fan. And that's what I'm doing right now. I'm a volunteer coach, and I love it. That's what I love to do. But again, I'm still heavily involved in my community. But the thing I want to bring up, family, is something very important. The power of local governing to make changes, right? And where I live, there is a huge vacant lot. Okay? There's a huge vacant lot. It's about, I think it's about like 15 or 16 acres. It's a huge lot. I got to look up the actual numbers, but it's a very huge lot. Right now, the property is privately owned. Okay? I'm not going to disclose who owns the property or whatever the case may be. But that property, okay, where I live, okay, first of all, the community where I live is over 500 homes here. Okay? And then outside of those homes, there is a total of over 300 homes and other apartments here. So that's over 900, okay, residents in the community where I live. So in this vacant lot, they wanted to build an additional 324 apartments and 134 townhomes, bringing in an addition of 900 cars. So that already causes three things: congestion, traffic, and crime. All of those things will go up. Oh, by the way, when you do that, your property value goes down. So my community was vehemently against that. I was against that. Everybody was against that. We signed paperwork. We went to the city hall. We protested. We did all of that last year. I didn't document this, but I'm just basically telling you what I did. So we denied this, and we had our meeting last week at the city council office of where I live. Okay, to voice our opinion about this, and we voiced our opinion, but it still had to go through a voting process through the city legislators. So, got an email earlier today, and I'll read you guys the email. Okay, it says, "Dear residents, okay, the city council met to vote on the rezoning of the vacant lot, all right, of where I live. We are proud to announce that the motion failed 3-4 to rezone and build 324 apartments plus 134 townhomes and bring in an additional 900 cars to an already congested community." All right. So it goes along with more detail about what happened, but that's the brief of the email. Okay. So we worked together as a community. We went to the city council office. We voiced our displeasure. We did petitions. We did everything. We protested everything, and the power of that worked. So now these white-owned developers will not build these apartments. And I actually talked to them, and they said that, and I asked them, will they have Section 8 housing? He said no, but I believe he's a liar. So potentially they would have had Section 8 housing there, which of course crime would have just went through the roof. And if that happened, trust and believe, I would have probably, I hate to say it, I would have probably moved out to a white neighborhood. Even though I hate it. Even though I hate doing that. I love to live around my own people, but I would have had to move to a predominantly white neighborhood if they would have built those apartments, guaranteed. You know, that's my last option, is to move into a white neighborhood. Okay, but yeah, that's the power of local governing, family. We made our changes. We displayed our displeasure towards this white-owned developer that wants to build these apartments and townhomes. All right, to our community, which is already, already congested, and it went to vote, and the motion was denied to rezone that area and for that developer to build those, those townhomes and those apartments. So that's the power of local governing, family. Get involved. Like I said, get involved, build relationships, and put your money where your mouth is. It's that simple. So I just wanted to bring you guys some light on that. It's very important. It's been a while since I just actually got in front of you guys to just talk. I talk, but I add, videos and reactions and stuff like that. I just wanted to give you guys raw and uncut information on what I do behind the scenes, because I don't document everything I do behind the scenes. But I just wanted to share that with you guys. All right. So, it's the power of local governing, family. Make the changes that you need from where you live. Get involved. All right. Get involved, build relationships, and put your money where your mouth is. It's that simple. All right, family. So those are my thoughts. Leave a comment down below about what you think about local governing and what you're doing and where you live and how you're affecting, your conditions. Let me know your thoughts down below, family. Until then, Chauncey, a.k.a. the Black Separatist, signing out. Peace.